Okay, so today I'm doing an updated deck profile on Spirit Charmers. I did a video on my old channel a while back on a Charmer Control deck, and yeah, I personally find the deck very funny. It's definitely not what would count a tier, however, when Cash Tier format comes around, I feel like this could do stuff. The gist of it is you just Secret Village lock and you keep recurring resources with your possessed cards while using your traps to maintain control of game state. I'll give you a quick rundown of all the cards that are in this deck, and then I will show you a couple of games demonstrating what it can do. So we've got Dogmatic for Fleur-de-Lis. It's a negate that we can search out, and it also is a beatdown option, because the one thing this deck lacks if it doesn't get going is high attack beat sticks. Because you'd need to have Awakening to make any of your little guys big. Awakening Possessed, Nefarious or Archfiend, summon from deck, and it gets to revive a spellcast, just any level 4 lower from grave, and negate its effects. This will usually be used to proc your Awakening and give yourself another body and another attribute on board, is the key thing. Then we've got all the Familiar Possesseds. These are just there as names, essentially. You're not using any of their actual effects. Fairy Tale Luna, which is another 1850, because this deck, the spell card Awakening Possessed wants you to summon 1850 monsters. It also can be used to main as a control aspect if you don't end up linking it off. We've got 3 Dogmatica Ecclesia. Dogmatica package, kind of compulsory. 3 Ash, because who plays Ash in this format apart from me? Because I feel like some hand traps are necessary to mitigate our opponent's end board, because I'm not really willing to go into blind second cards with this deck, but going second you're going to have a bit of trouble, so at least having some hand traps. Nadir, and now at 3, Nadir Servant, very good. It's just essentially 2 searches or a search and a pop. Terraforming for the Secret Village. Spirit Charmers, literally. Just searches 2 of your cards. One you have to add and set. So you have to make note of the fact that one of the cards is going to be set to the field. So just remember that. Awakened Possessed. All your monsters gain 300 attack for every attribute. Doesn't have to be a Charmer. However, your Charmer and Familiar Possessed cannot be destroyed by card effects, and if a monster of 1850 is summoned, then you get to draw 1 card. So this is how you're going to keep your resources flowing. Secret Village is Secret Village. Imperm, another hand trap to mitigate opponent's end boards. Teamwork or Possessed Partnerships, read the OCG name, Possessed Partnerships. It can pop a card by summoning a spellcaster, including Ecclesia, because it just has to have 1500 defense. And you can also banish it from graveyard to target possessed spell trap and place it on your field, which is often very useful. You don't have to run 3 of this. I'm just running 3 because I can. You can be on 2 of this and be just fine as well. However, I end up searching it so much that I just put it at 3 anyway. 2 Dogmatica Punishment. It's just a removal. 1 Unpossessed to essentially get, if one of your spellcasters is destroyed, you summon a different one and one with a different attribute to the ones that are on the field. And it also means that your Familiar Possessed attacks an opponent's monster, they gain 800, making them even bigger. Crackdown to steal opponent's cards, and Solemn Judgment to stop opponents from doing certain things like Lightning Storm or a key normal summon. Extra deck, we've got 5-headed Dragon and Entus for punishment targets, as well as Nadir, and the same with Titaniclad. However, Titaniclad can search your Dogmatica cards, making that very useful. A Zeus, because why not? And then we've got a Trapeze Magician just for making Zeus with kind of Baguska and Abyss Dweller. So Baguska's obviously good at stalling out the games, and Abyss Dweller's anti-tier card. We've got Access Code and Selene here because, if you're going second, or you've got a battle phase, you're going to want to be making Access Code. And then Line of the Light Charmer and Area of the Water Charmer, because those are probably the 2 most relevant cards. You're not making Dark in this deck, however. You probably could make the Araya and steal a Tear from Grave. Artemis, just to link off to get an extra deck monster for the Dogmatic cards to special summon off. And then you just do more link plays with that. And then in the sideboard, we've got 2 Kaijus, 3 Shifter, 2 Lightning Storm, and a Harpies and a Cosmic to deal with the back row, 3 Dark Ruler in case we know we're going second, and 3 Dimensional Barrier in case It's in the case that we know what our opponent's playing. If it's a mono strategy that only summons fusions, for example, Brandon, we have the first turn. That's the deck. Let's just get into some games. Okay, so game 1, we are against Labyrinth Magical Muskets. Okay, so we won the rock, paper, scissors, so we are going to be going first. We will activate Spirit Charmers, pitching Unpossessed. We'll activate Awakening Obsessed. We'll set Possessed Partnerships. We'll use so here Awakening Possessed is a compulsory effect, so we have to use that first. Then we chain to that our Luna's effect to search in 1850, which we will search Alsa, because Alsa is always the name you'll want to prioritize because you're running the Nefarious Archfiend in your deck to summon off of with it. And now we get to draw a card, drawing into another Possessed Partnerships. Summon Artemis, then we can summon Ecclesia. Ecclesia will search Dogmatic card. We'll activate Disciple of Landir, pitch Titaniclad, search Ferdiri. In the Enclave's Titaniclad, we'll set our hand. And then, yeah, Titaniclad will search Ecclesia for follow-up. Our opponent activates Chandraglia, setting Welcome Labyrinth, and they'll activate Labyrinth. They'll set one, they'll attempt to pass. We will Possess Partnerships and pop the Welcome Labyrinth because we control 2 monsters' different attributes. They'll activate. We're activating Possess Partnerships in the graveyard there, and then the opponent is going to be chaining Welcome Labyrinth to summon their Lady Labyrinth deck. At the moment, this can't be destroyed card effects, which is a key thing to note. Now we're summoning our Nefarious Archfiend, then we're going to activate its effect. They're going to chain Bottomless, and then they're going to chain Lady Labyrinth to the Bottomless. So so here we're forced to use Punishment before they get another set card to pop it. To pop Lady Labyrinth, and then we get some Luna back. That will proc our Awakening and our Unpossessed because a monster was destroyed, so we can summon different attributes. Chandraglia will go back to hand, we'll summon a win. Then we get to draw a card. We're using Ecclesia here to summon, then Ecclesia will search another Dogmatic Punishment. We'll activate the Spirit Charmers here, setting Possessed Partnerships, setting a Heacher. He's her summon, and we've got Lethal on board. And they'll surrender. Okay, so next game we're up against Branded Witchcrafters, apparently, with some Shadows thrown in. I know a person who actually plays Branded Witchcrafters. I don't know if they play the Shadow package, I haven't checked recently. But interesting. We are going first. We have kind of drawn the nuts, I can't lie. We don't have access to our Charmer engine. However, we can lock them out of spells, and Witchcrafters probably don't like that. So activate Luna here, search another Luna for recursion, summon Artemis, now we can summon Ecclesia. Ecclesia will search card, they'll actually Ecclesia. Unfortunate because we can't search Punishment now. We'll use Disciple of the Landir, send it to Titaniclad, add a Fleur-de-Lis, activate Secret Village, set a Solemn and search an Ecclesia off Titaniclad. This is actually a very strong position for us. We're going to immediately summon Genny so they can't use its effect. Opponent moves straight to end phase, jeez. We'll summon a Luna and use Luna's effect to search an Alsa. We'll link into Selene. We realise that we don't have enough spell counters on Selene to summon from grave. We do not activate Ecclesia, so we don't lock ourselves. We make Access Code, because Access Code is a good card. And we'll summon Fleur-de-Lis, and the opponent will just surrender. And it's over as fast as that. Yeah, it turns out Witchcrafters, the quick play spell based deck, probably do need spells. Funny that. Okay, so the last game is one I thought was very interesting. And that's why I decided to show it. I'm not going to bother showing me playing against tier elements with this deck because it just struggles so much against the tier matchup. It's not competitively viable to play against a deck like that. But we're against Traptrix, which is another control deck. It has a similar strategy to us. It definitely does more searching. However, if we play this right, we can definitely win. I don't. They also play Shifter like us, or can play, but they're main decking it. So we will start off with them normal summoning Pudica. We'll imperm that. They'll then Shifter. So Pudica's negated. They'll summon a Sarah. Sarah won't do anything here. We'll normal summon Alsa. Then we'll activate Ecclesia. Ecclesia will use effect search. Will get imperm by the opponent. That's fine. They'll use Sarah here to get another monster. Pudica will then banish our Ecclesia. Don't know why they did that, because that means we get a search on their turn now. They'll set a whole tire. We'll hit over the Sarah. Go to main phase 2, set our hand, and we'll activate Secret Village. During the standby phase, due to Pudica, we get to get our Ecclesia back. Ecclesia will then search Fleur-de-Lis, which will be a negate. They'll make a Sarah. We'll Judgment that, since Sarah hasn't yet hit the field and is not link summoned, Solemn does work against it. They'll activate a whole tire here. They'll summon it. then they'll make an Arachnocampa, they'll Xyz into Pingu, and they'll will activate Fleur de Lis, they'll Grave Keeper's Trap Hole it, and then they'll get to search. So they'll search a Mantis, they'll use Mantis here to add a Traptrix. They'll then hit over our Alsa. We'll now possess partnerships, bring back the Alsa, and we'll pop Mantis, because Pinguicula is unaffected by trap effects. Then we'll make an Artemis, they'll Compulse it, then we'll Fleur de Lis. So they'll Compulse, we'll Fleur de Lis, negating Pudica, then Pudica will attempt to activate, negating Fleur de Lis. We'll make a Trapeze Magician, and we'll Fleur de Lis over the thingy, and then we'll make a Zeus, because Zeus! So we're just going to out-resource them from here. They'll activate Mamilio, they'll set 2, and they'll go to end phase, we'll Zeus them in the end phase. Draw for turn, we draw a Crackdown, move towards battle, hit over, and then we'll set a Crackdown pass. They will draw a Ice Dragon's Prison, and then we will then proceed to battle phase. Zeus will hit in, they'll IDP our Fleur de Lis, we'll then redeclare, but we'll Crackdown to take back the Fleur de Lis, so Zeus can attack directly, and then they surrendered. So that matchup's interesting. It's very much a grindy match, even if it is a short grind. It's still, like, yeah, it's just out-resourcing them. But yeah, so, like, it can compete with other decks of its caliber, that's for certain. Like, I think that's what we can take away from this. Okay, so my final thoughts on the deck would be, it's okay. Like, it does some stuff, and against certain matchups, it wins very easily. However, it also struggles with decks that are heavy on like lots of monster effects such as Telements, where it just keeps going. Like, you have to rely on certain points that you can hit with this, for example, a well-timed Crackdown or Punishment. So it definitely has its weaknesses. It's definitely not competitive, but it is a very fun deck to play. A lot of people don't see they see the Charmer cards and they're not sure exactly what they do. Like, because no one so far has ashed Spirit Charmers, I don't think, and you really should be ashing Spirit Charmers. It searches 2 of your cards. But it definitely has its good matchups, to be fair. Like, against something like Branded, this deck just kind of auto wins if you win the die roll. Obviously, losing a die roll, that means your game 3 is going to be going second against the deck, which means you have to rely on drawing your Kaijus, your Dark Rulers, Lightning Storms, but you can still do that, to be fair. But yeah, so I think it's a solid deck. It's like not something you should expect to play at a competitive level, but it is certainly a fun deck you can whip up and take to locals. Especially with Disciples and Nadir coming, Nadir 7, I keep saying the OCG names, going to 3, that also helps this deck. At the start of the video, I did say perform his Trapeze positions to make Zeus. I should clarify, you don't want to be using its effect if you're planning to make Zeus, because if you're activating its effect, it will destroy itself at the end of the battle phase if you're targeting itself. So just make a note of that. And also, Celine, yeah, check your spell counters, like, yeah, definitely check your spell counters, can't lie. Because I've been caught out a couple of times when I don't have enough spell counters. But no, I think, yeah, this deck's a fun deck to use and mess about with, definitely. But don't expect too much from it. That's important. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was, I always have fun making these silly decks, like, on and off camera, to be fair. I'm not too much I'm happy playing, like, powerful rogue, but I'm not a very meta player. Like, I was considering going into Cash Tier X format, but I don't know if I am now, to be fair. I might just vibe with Photon Galaxy when all the support arrives. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, found this informative. And yeah, if you did enjoy, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe. And you can also find me on Twitch, where I will be doing a lot of different things, live streams, ranging from like Master Duel to playing with viewers, all sorts of stuff. So you can find me at twitch.tv/accursed. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.